Hello, and welcome to another episode of my Car Mechanic Sim 2021 YouTube series, where we're going to be doing the last of the cars in the Jaguar DLC, specifically the 92 Jaguar XJ220. This is probably, I think, the most expensive car in the bunch. Like the others were, I got them for like less than 100 grand. This one was a little bit more than that. Yeah. We're already in 15 in the hole with this, and it's 120 grand I bought it for, which again, like I said, when I said overpaid for some of these, I'm not kidding. So, we're going to give this one the usual treatment. It's, parts wise, it's not too horrible. A lot of question marks. We'll get to those. But we're going to, like I said, we're just going to give this one the full treatment like we do with the rest of the cars. Start with the frame. This one may go quicker, it might not, depending upon how much trouble the engine gives us. Frame should be good. Yep. Let's knock out the interior real quick. Got the 3 seats, that's fine. Or the 2 seats in the steering wheel. Back to normal mode. Mark them. And I bet you... Actually, I can't remember if I cleaned the interior or not. But we'll find out. So, let's go to... So we have the list, so let's go shopping. Get our steering wheel. And... do front seats, because there's no back seats in this darn thing. Here, back to assembly mode. Okay. Okay. So let's check. Interior 96. So yeah, we didn't clean the interior. Now let's check it. Alright, frame and interior at 100% already. We should be able to just touch up the body parts, because like I said, with this high a percentage, shouldn't have any that are, in junk state. That. 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 Windshield. Side mirror. Fancy headlights. Bumper. There we go. Left body window. Okay, I knew I was missing something there. We can never take the sunroof out. They consider it part of the body, so... Make sure we got anything else. Doesn't look like it. Looks like we got all the windows. Can't... Yeah, there's no way to select that one. I think they consider that part of the interior space, aka part of the body. I have to remember that battery being there too when we get to that part. So the engine is in an interesting spot. But we should still be able to get to it from the back. Let's get stuff we can't fix on order. There. Okay, I got the engine cover. Headlights. Usually headlights are not fixable. I'm curious. This one's an exception to the rule or not. keep them in there just in case. I think they are, but we'll try it anyway. Yeah, I didn't think so. So we get the headlights on there already. Left headlight, right headlight. So they are on the shopping list. Let's get rid of those then. There we go. Let's get the rest of that stuff that we put on the order list. So we need to go to Bodyworks, J220, and okay. Body window, thank you. Body window. Front left door window, thank you. That was a nice big old windshield. Front right door. Engine cover. First tail light. Second tail light. And we're going to get both the headlights. Okie dokie. That front bumper on there. Keeps going out of assembly mode. Alright. So I'm just going to put my regular custom tags on it. I'll make sure we used all the parts. Looks like we did. Okay. Here we go. Lights. Alright, get two of them. Do the front and back. By part. Back to assembly mode so we can slap these on. Alright, so that should make the body parts 100%. It does. Good. So let's take this off to paint. I want to give this a different color. Alright, so get you to the paint booth here and see what options we have. Dark gray almost fits it. And again, I want to see what looks like a metallic. Ooh. No. Wait, that's the factory color? Ugh. kind of just going back and forth here to see what our different options look like here. Yeah. That's down in here is going to look too much like the others. It doesn't pop enough. We could do black. Oh, this doesn't look too bad on it. No liveries, just like the previous cars. I think we can go with this. Give it a different look from the others, because the first two were really close in color. Third one kind of did like a bright copper, and this one's kind of a reddish brown. Yeah, I think we can deal with this. Alright, let's get back in the bay. And I think we're probably just going to head and pull the fluids out. Tools, drain tool. Pull the engine oil here in a minute. Not forgetting anything else here. Power steering's probably back towards the engine. Yep, there it is. Oh, we want to drain it, not fill it. All right. So to get the oil, we're gonna have to send this thing up. Get it from underneath like usual. Right. Well, looks to be in good shape. Got a healthy amount this time. Right. While we're down here, we're gonna get all the back end stuff off the engine. I have to get the tires off to get the axles off to get the gearbox off. Okay. We're gonna do the tires next anyway, so no big deal. Or we'll get to the tires eventually, let's say. Okay. Let's get this off there. That should get the engine free. Right? There's no transfer case, so it looks like we're just dealing with rear-wheel drive, which is fine. The previous vehicle we were working on which was a very good episode, by the way. You guys are just killing it with the views on that stuff. It wasn't all-wheel drive. This one, I think we're going to get a little bit luckier. So we're not going to have to worry about, you know, connecting this front wheels to anything. So that's good. That's going to simplify things a little bit. Since we got these tires off, we might as well go ahead and redo them. Like I said, we're wanting to get everything to 100% on this car, which means even though the tires look to be in, you know, excellent shape, we still want to take them apart and replace the tires and fix the rims. Might as well go ahead and fix the rest of this since we have it in the inventory already. Okay. The rims are in good shape. We need a couple of tires. Alright. Go ahead and get those ordered. And we're looking for 345.35. 345.35. Okay. Double check. Actually, I went ahead and deleted those, but that's okay. We could always reassemble it and verify if we need to, but I think we're alright. I'm pretty sure we got the right tire. Usually I'm a little more careful, but like I said, I'm just trying to get things done a little bit quicker, hopefully. He's balanced. Okay. So before we get to the suspension, let's get the engine rebuilt. Should be able to get to this through the back, since it's a mid-engine car. Day one. And off we go. Alright. Well, that's cute. It went through the trunk. I opened this up, and it opened the trunk up. That's cool. It's all in the stand. Yeah. Not in perfect shape, but it's in decent shape. Okie dokie. So we're going to do the same thing that we did with... Don't need those. We'll replace them with high performance parts anyway. We're going to be taking this apart, keeping only the engine block and the crankshaft, and rebuilding everything else from the ground up. From the fuel rails. That is an interesting looking intake manifold. Can't take that off yet because we need to get the belts off. Interesting, a separate belt for each head and then an overall belt controlling everything else. Actually pretty neat. There's a lot of bolts for that turbo. Rest of these rollers off and then our water pump. Power steering and alternator are all gone. Timing cover off. Alright. What's holding you on? Oh, okay. Wiring harness. It's interesting that it's just inset like that. Come on, give me your wires. Thank you. Come on, give me the other clip there. There we go. Okay, now we can get the head covers off. Notice how smoothly this is going when you have a car that's in decent shape. I don't think we've hit a rusty bolt yet. I want to jinx myself on that. But like I said, she is in good shape. Let's get the spark plugs out. Surprised with a car this expensive. It's running a V6, but probably a heavily tweaked V6, I would imagine. I didn't even look at the numbers for the horsepower and torque yet. Figured I might keep that somewhat of a surprise till the end. Alright. Now we can get the heads off. Almost done with the disassembly. Oh, there you go. Okay, there's one crankshaft bearing cap. Okay, only 2 of them. Used to there being more. Oh, we should be able to get the pistons out now. Alright. Set on to disassembly. Like I said, we're just going to fix up the engine block and the crankshaft. The rest of it we're just going to sell. Alright. Go here. Sell parts. Bam. All good. Now, we get to order a whole ton of parts. Got the crankshaft bearing caps and the pistons. Flywheel, oil fill, fuel filter, timing cover, power steering pump, alternator, and fuel filter. I think that'll be a good start. Okie dokie. There's anything over here? No, the pistons are usually considered a performance part. That's a standard part. The flywheel, got that. Fuel filter here. Alternator, please. And power steering pump. Everything else should be a standard part. First, you get piston rings. Okay. Filter, got that. 2 bearing caps. Got those. Fill tube, thank you. And timing cover. Alright, let's get these bearing caps in first. Alternator installed. Power steering pump. Got an oil filter we can install. And that's it for this round. Let's get rod caps, clutch plate, all the little bits and bobs here on the front. Pump, roller, pulley, and water pump. Head B, head A. Okay, I think that's going to be good for round 2. Engine head A. Head B. Clutch plate. I think the rest of this is yeah, why did we double up on the water pump? That's alright. I must have accidentally hit that button twice. Okay, so anyway. Get the rod caps. Water pump. Roller. Actually, we need 2 of those. Crankshaft pulley. There we go. Start installing things over here. Because it does have 2 water pumps. Helps if I was paying attention there. That's kind of threw me off. Most cars only have 1. But it's interesting, this one's got dual water pumps on it. Yeah, I caught that. I don't think we've ever put together a car on this series that had more than 1 water pump. That is interesting. Alright, what else we got? That's it for that round. So let's get oil pan, that pressure plate, everything down here. Need another roller. And the camshaft A's. A, shaft A, camshaft B. A, B. So that is weird. 3 of one, 1 of the other. That's good. Yeah, it's a Jaguar engine. Bound to be different. Okay, let's order some parts. Manifold A. Manifold B. Spark plugs. Turbo B. Turbo A. One camshaft B. 3 camshaft A's, which is, again, seems a little weird, but okay. And clutch pressure plate. Rest of this is standard issue parts, so we'll go back over here. An oil pan. And another roller. Alright, let's start putting stuff together. There's the both the turbos, cams for this side. Go ahead and put these in. The spark plugs put in. Rest of the camshafts. I think that's... Nope, nope, there's a roller. And of course the oil pan. Once we get this in, we can write the engine and do the assembly a little bit easier. And there we go. Alright. Let's see what we got left here. 4 cam gears. Throttles. Fuel rail. Another fuel rail. Let's see, we need 1, let's see, 2, 4, 6. So we need 12. Camshaft caps. Distributor and clutch release bearing. Okay. That's everything for this round. Looks like it. Let's see. Camshaft caps, standard parts. Cam gears are standard parts. Throttles are not. Who are those? 2 fuel rails. Clutch. Release of standard parts. Oh, the distributor's not a performance part. Okay, interesting. Let's back over here. Cam gears. 12 camshaft caps. Right. Wait, what? Clutch release bearing. Okay, we got you. Oh, it's... Sure, okay. That makes total sense, kind of. I think that might be a bit of a misplaced item. I suppose not, since it's technically a standard part for this engine. I guess it makes sense. Okay. Because if it were a performance part, it would have been in the performance section. The fact that it isn't, and the fact that it's part of the electrical system. Okay, I guess I could understand that. On second thought. Because on most other cars, it's a performance part that you could put in. But I think just because of the configuration of this particular engine, that's not the case. It's fine, but, you know. I guess they wanted to throw us a curveball. At least a little bit of a curveball. And that one cam being different, I bet you is... I wonder if that's... Yeah. Like I said, each one of these Jaguar engines, I've learned something from it. That's the main thing. Is whether or not I learned something. Have anything else? I have one extra part. Clutch release bearing. There we go. Okay, onward with the next part. Belt, the belt, cover A, cover B. And distributor rotor. Now that's probably, unless they've changed that too, that should be a performance part. Yeah, they used a bog standard part. I kind of figured. These should all be standard parts. Okay. Hit cover A. Hit cover B. Gotcha. Alright. Let's get the other one on. Sweet. Belts on. Got one other part here, I think. Rotor, which needs to go back over here. I think that's it. Distributor cap. That's going to be a performance part. Need a big belt. A couple of rotors. Or rollers, excuse me, not rotors. Been a long day. Let's see. Anything here that's... Yeah. Belt B. 2 idle roller A's. Right? Yeah. Belt tensioner. We can get that real quick. Right. We need those clips. Might as well get the engine wires in there too. Clip B's. The other one's a performance part. That. That. Oh, we need the engine covers. So over here. There we go. I think that's it. Just looking for anything that's grayed out, see if I missed any parts. Everything looks like it's supposed to be there. Right. Get this back in the car, shall we? He's in the green, everything's 100%. Not seeing any missing parts, so I think we're okay. Okay, so on with the next step. We're gonna take care of the exhaust system eventually. We'll get to that first, or not first, but we got something else we want to do first. Is basically what I was trying to say. Take everything out of this engine compartment. Oh, what would be the engine compartment on some cars? The front here. Pull all this stuff out. Of course, we can't grab the fuel tank. Though I want to. Oh. Yeah, we don't have any intercoolers to worry about. That's good. Okay. That's everything from up here except the fuel tank, which we can't get to. Because game, please. I'm going to go ahead and replace that one right away, just so I can not have to fuss with it. Buy the part, because it's a standard part. Not going to be for performance or anything. Okay. So basically it lets us get the fuel pump and not the fuel tank, but sure. I mean, it makes sense in real life, but anyway. So, yeah. Let's get... see what we could fix up first. I know the electrical stuff won't be fixed up. Alright, that saved us a little bit of trouble there. So, sort by condition. And we're going to be getting rid of the fuel pump anyway. I'm just going to go ahead and... because that one's got a high performance equivalent that we're going to use. Fan and radiator we're going to reuse. The fuse boxes are fine. ABS pump and module. Everything else we're going to buy new. Alright. Let's go buy some stuff. And we'll get the fuel pump here in a minute. That's medium fuse type A. We need 3. Good. 2 relay type C's. 3 fuse type B's. 4 relay type B's. 2 relay type A's. The rest of this is all going to be found elsewhere. And fuel pump. 1.5, but still, every little bit helps. Fuel pump on there. Quick servo. That. ABS pump. And the module. Alright. Radiator installed. Fans right here. Get the fuse box put in. All its relevant bits and bobs. But when you're working on cars, man, never trust the fuses. Especially when you're restoring cars in this game. Also, on most cars, it's the easiest thing to check, at least in real life and in the game. Car won't start, check your fuses and check the relays. Especially if it's an older car. Alright. Might as well go ahead and, since we've got everything in, including the engine, we're going to go ahead and probably go ahead and do the fluids while we're here. Right. Coolant reservoir next. Right. I think that's it for the engine compartment, or not engine, but the front compartment. I default to saying the engine compartment meaning the front, but that's not always the case on these cars, especially these fancy cars. Yes, I say fancy because I drive Chevys for on a daily basis, so sue me. Yeah, I think that's everything up here. Close that up. Battery out. Go ahead and replace that. Go. That's going to have to be done later. Could go ahead and do the exhaust, but I want to get the other stuff back here replaced first. The reservoir. Right. Ordering. That is a standard part, so we'll just go over here and get that. There we go. Back to assembly mode. And yes, we're deliberately overfilling it. Okay, that should be all the fluids. It's amazing the filters are just hanging out in space like that. But, well, makes it that much easier to replace, I suppose. Alright, let's go to the shop. Performance. And we're going to need 2 standard air filters. For that measly, but yet still important 2% increase. Front exhaust section. Muffler. Oh, it's just one big piece. Okay, that works. Assembly, get that. Oops, I accidentally added it twice. Actually, I added it 3 times. That's cute. I guess really wanted to make sure that I didn't forget it. I'm gonna buy one. No sense keeping extras. Hell, I don't. Oh, it's exhaust section A. Huh? That's interesting. They're not the same part. Just seen that coming. So let's get rid of that then. I just sold it. Smart. There we go. Fixed our mess up there. And we're gonna go back to assembly mode. Okay, we're gonna have to get that from underside. I figured as much. Actually, before we do that, let's make sure we're not missing anything else. We got the filters, got the power steering, got the oil. Okay, I think we're good. If we're not, we're gonna find out very quickly. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're not going to put the drive shafts in because we got to redo the suspension. There we go. Stretch a little bit. Okay, so we already got the tires off. We got the axles out. They're already 100%, so we'll be able to put those right back in when we get done. We're going to go ahead and take all of this apart and see how much of it we could fix up. I mean, my guess is with all this, we're probably going to be able to save majority of this, except for the bushings. The bushings are basically acting like consumables at this point. They aren't. There's nothing to fix on them. Yeah, it's everything on this side, looks like. I have a feeling this is going to be a peppy little number when we go to do the dyno in the race, or not the race, but the speed track. Although it would be interesting to see what the drag rating is for it. That's everything. Yep, looks like it. Alright, let's go fix stuff up. Which I just realized that we didn't take those assemblies apart, but we'll get those next. we'll get those apart and then we'll do one last check to make sure whether or not we had everything that was repairable or not. I didn't think so. It still left us in decent shape. Got quite a few things that were repaired, but the rest of it's going to have to be ordered. That's fine. So everything from pretty much this guy down. Alright. Get parts ordered. 8 rubber bushings. 2 shock absorbers. 2 shock caps. 2 brake discs. And a couple of brake pads. A couple of rear springs. A couple of hub bearings. Pretty much bearings and bushings you're not going to have, like, they're not going to be fixable. So if you see those, it's just, you're just look at it like something you know you're just going to have to end up replacing them no matter what. Go. Shock absorber in there. Extreme close-up. Alright, let's do the other side. Right. Wrapping up the rear end here. Sounded bad, but anyway. Alright. I think, yeah, that's all the parts I have for the rear end. That's all done. Okay, so now we get to do the same thing to the front. Get these off. We'll redo the tires first and then we'll work on the suspension. Okie dokie. So be separated. Alright. Okay. Go fix the rims. Get ourselves some new tires. Back to the tire shop. Work tire, and we need 255, 45. Okay. Two of those. Verify. 255, 45 are 17s. Okay, confirmed. For the old tires, clear out our list. Let's get these put back together. Good, now let's get the other one. Alright, let's get them balanced. Okay, one balanced. And got the other. Okay, let's get the rest of the suspension apart. Shock absorber out. Oh, I was like, why is it not? Oh, right, I forgot about the. I keep forgetting about that tie rod. Now we could get. Go, looking good. Oh, valve land link installed. And get rid of the sway bar, get rid of the steering rack, and we need to get these bushings out before we can get the cross member. That's everything. Cool. See what all we can fix up here. All right. Cool. I think that was a good number of parts there. Let's take a look. It could have been better, but so those, and anything under 100% we're just buying new. go. Get rid of all the less than perfect parts. And let's go shopping. Okay. Wheel hub bearings. Shock absorbers. 12 rubber bushings. Brake pads. Thank you. Outer tie rods. We need 2 of those. Sway bar. Inner tie rods. Shock caps. So, springs. A couple of ventilated brake discs. Got our end links right there. And a couple of wheel hub caps. And we'll get the assemblies put back together. Just so we don't have to worry about that when we're partway through the assembly. All the big parts in first. Excellent. Okay, let's start getting this stuff put together on this side. Hub and the hub bearing. Got our tie rod here before we forget it again. Cap on. Good old brake caliper. And the tire. Let's get this other side slapped together. And get the hub in there and get the bearing held on this side. Come on. Almost forgot the tie rod on this side. Would have been interesting. Oh, easy to find, but still. Okay, that should be all parts that I had in my inventory. And we're at 100% parts on everything. We got there. Alright, let's get over to the alignment booth. We'll get the headlights and the wheels aligned, and then we'll do the dyno. Nope. Come on, let me go. Thank you. I got a little too far over there and ended up in the pit. Or the stairway to the pit. Okay. Okay. go. That one's green. Cool. Move her over to Dino. I want to see where we're at on this. Curious to see what kind of results we get. Yep. So 542 horsepower. Wow, that's a lot from a V6. 473 pound-feet of torque, and that's just from the factory. So let's see where we end up. Come on, baby, go. Let's go. Damn. Not bad. 389 horsepower increase and a 307 pound-feet of torque increase for a grand total of 930 horsepower and 780 pound-feet of torque, respectively. Not bad. Not bad at all. One last thing I want to do with this before we wrap up here. Move this out. Actually, two things. Nope, nope. I wanted to go here. Take her outside because we're going to take pictures. Okay. Beautiful. That's a pretty car. Alright, one last thing we gotta do here. We're gonna take her out to speed track. We are going to just let this thing do a full pull. Everybody ready? Got your fingers on the screenshot button and all that? At least I do. No, don't you get squirrely on me. There we go. $205, $210, $220, $230, $232. That's not bad. That's probably the best speed we've gotten out of any of these cars so far. I'll take it. 232 horsepower or miles per hour? Hell yeah. I have to be a little more careful, I guess, in the future. On the initial launches there. She didn't quite grip and she got a little... almost got out from underneath me. I'll probably have that kind of issue. I'm being sarcastic with that, obviously. When we go doing the Pagani cars here in a couple of DLCs. We're going to be doing the Hot Rod DLC next. And then the Pagani DLCs, which it's only like 3 cars. But still, those ones are going to be interesting to take on the speed track. Let's take a look at our final numbers. So, bought at $420,000. You could see the bonus for the condition and the parts values, and you see that we made a $77,000 profit for a total of almost $198,000. I'm surprised we still made a decent profit on that one, considering how much I overpaid for the car. But it shows what, you know, putting a little bit of effort into, you know, giving it a better exhaust, better engine, and just spiffing everything up to 100% condition can do in this game. Now, this is not the most high dollar car we've sold on here, but this is I think probably the most expensive one we've done in the series. Like those, there's those Challenger or Charger knockoffs, one of the two, that if you do it right, you tweak it or everything, you could get like something like close to $250,000. But dude, this still is a pretty nice chunk of change, and this is actually going to put us over $1 million here. So let's do that. Am I sure I want to sell it? Yes. Hey, we finally broke $1 million. Means I can go out and buy some more cars now. Okay, so like for next time, we're going to move this over to Bay 1. So this is like the late 80s, early 90s Corvette clone that we'll be working on. And then we'll finally, I know I promised this one a long time ago, move this one into Bay 2. This is the one that kind of looks like the old boxy Mercedes or, Volvo type cars. I wanted to see like how much of a nerdy office car we can make out of that. And of course, as a portent of future events, this is going to be the first of our cars that we do for the Hot Rod DLC. Like I said, we got our work cut out for us. It's not in the best of shape, but at least it's mostly complete. So, yeah. Expect to see these in future episodes. And like I said, thank you everyone for watching, putting up with me this far. This DLC was very much an eye-opener. Especially the first car we did in the series, where I got stuck for like 10-ish minutes trying to figure out one little part that was keeping me from taking the engine apart. But yeah, overall I like this DLC. The cars were pretty, they handled really nice. Made a decent amount of cash off of them. So, yeah. Highly recommend it to anybody who hasn't, bought the game yet. I would recommend, well, hasn't bought the DLC at least. Give it a shot. It's like most of these DLCs are like $5 or $6, with a few exceptions. Like the drag race one's a little more expensive, it's like $15. But yeah, very much worth the extra few bucks to get these DLC cars. So with that, I'll turn you loose, and I'll see you on the next episode, where we get to do this car.